We are back at it with some F30 content. I'm gonna show you broke boys how to modify the car, make it look good. Kidding. Just gonna show you guys on a budget how to make the F30 look a little bit more aggressive without having to spend too much moolah. So I guess you can consider this the very first modification for the F30. I've waited long enough. I'm waiting for a lot of parts. That's why I haven't really filmed a lot of content on this car. We have something that I've never done on any of my BMWs, lowering springs. So we're lowering the ride height on the back 1 inch. In front 1.6 inches. Since you know BMWs, it was kind of set up a little bit higher up front. You guys can see that gap. So yeah, we got the H&R springs. They're gonna go on the F30. We'll fit them onto the stock OEM struts. Probably not the best idea on a car that has 129,000 miles, and the struts are obviously clapped and you can hear some clonking noise. But I needed a temporary setup right now before I decided to go for coilovers or air suspension, since I might actually wide body the car. Dude, that fitment is like saucy as hell.
This is what happens when you buy something from AliExpress.
Yeah.
And the pictures show one thing, but you get another thing. You get a flip that completely doesn't fit. I think this is it.
That's it.
I think this is it.
That's a win, boys.
All right, we're ready to install. Where's the double side tape?
So rather than wait 46 weeks to get the coilover system that I want for the car, they were going to be ASTs like the ones that I run on the E46 and the E90. I'd rather just do this temporary setup, try it out, give you guys my honest opinion, and give you guys a cheaper alternative to lowering your car, you know, increasing performance and just making it look overall more aggressive. Another thing that we're doing today that wasn't really planned, these were just kind of sitting around in the shop. These are spacers that we're gonna use for the rear, since the fitment back there is pretty disgusting. There's like a huge gap, but we'll give it a shot. If not, we'll order like 10 mil or 15 mil spacers and throw that on later on. These are overkill. They might not work. This is just for testing purposes. These are 20 mil spacers, guys. Here's another thing that wasn't really planned for today's video, but it's just way too clapped. Look at this. This is a windshield window cowl. It's pretty nasty. So we're gonna change that, and windshield wipers. I'll show you guys why. It makes the window worse. We do have replacement windshield wipers that I bought from FCP Euro. Never heard of the brand, but it's like OE status. Silencio, like shut the hell up. And of course we have that the window cowl. This is gonna make a huge difference, because once you have the hood closed, clapped. Well, actually, it's not like the E90s where you can really see it a lot, but yeah, it's pretty clapped, right? Anyway, so we'll get that replaced today real quickly. We won't spend a lot of time on it. And as far as the H&R springs and the, I guess, like spacer recommendations, I'll leave links down in the description below. Pretty easy to change the cowl system here. Wow, that came off a lot easier than I thought it would come off. Your food is here. I gotta go eat. Uber Eats at its finest. I didn't get my drink.
But they're charging a lot more for...
Yeah, they're charging a temporary fuel surge charge. Yeah, I didn't get the drink. So, I almost feel bad that we're unclapping the F30, because I won't be able to call this car a clapper in like a few weeks after we start digging into it and making it, you know, look presentable. That was a little bit too loose.
Was it?
Yeah, very loose. I didn't have to put any force. Second one. Ah, this one's a little bit tighter. No, a little bit loose. Yeah, it's coming off. Did you notice that there's overspray on the damn windshield wiper? Right there. Overspray. That's it. Oh my god. This car was so poorly maintained, it's just so sad. I don't think it's supposed to do that. I'm actually afraid to see what this microfiber towel is going to look like afterwards. Went ahead and took my time and unclapped the windshield. Cleaned it off a little bit because it was an absolute nightmare. So we'll go ahead and put the new windshield cowl back in there. Get the wiper blades situated. So I was just informed that I bought the cowl. I didn't buy these covers. So...
That looks like
we're just not gonna put these on.
we have to spray paint these black. Look at that.
They're mushy though. It's not even the color only. They're mushy.
Ass.
Maybe I should leave it on there so the F30 can still be called clapped. This shit looks mint already. You like it? Almost looks like they put a layer of armor all on it. I'm actually gonna be able to drive now in the rain. Normally when it rains, I make a U-turn and take the car back home because I can't see 15 millimeters, you know. Beep. Fresh wipers, fresh cowl. Oh my God, that's much better.
The description of those things, windshield wipers, they actually do it now.
Even when choosing to buy affordable mods like lowering springs, that can really catch you off guard and pile up faster than you can pay it off. Add other daily expenses into the mix and you can quickly find yourself stuck in an endless pit of high interest rates. Well, good news, Upstart can help, which happens to be today's video sponsor. Whether you have multiple maxed out credit cards or just need money to fund personal expenses, car parts, Upstart can help you pay off your debt and provide you with one fixed monthly payment. Over 1 million people have used Upstart to do just that. Think you won't get approved due to bad credit? No worries. They use other factors like your employment, income, and other information that's provided in the loan application. In 5 minutes, you can easily check your rate without impacting your credit score for loans between $1,000 to $50,000. So you have nothing to lose just by checking. Find out how Upstart can lower your monthly payments when you go to upstart.com/vehiclevirals or use the link down in the description below. That's upstart.com/vehiclevirals, and make sure to use my URL so they know that I sent you. Big thanks to Upstart for sponsoring today's video. So it's a totally different day. We're here to finish up what we started. Wanted to show you guys in the daytime what the wheel gap looks like up front and in the rear before we install the springs. Up front, there's definitely a bigger gap and it just doesn't look too good. Here's what the rear looks like. It's a slight gap. I mean, it can use a little bit of work, a little bit more low, but definitely not as bad as the front. Something about the design of BMWs in general, where they always have a bigger gap up front than the rear, but they're normally at the same exact height. Might as well look underneath the car since it's on the lift already. It's just as clapped as I remember it being when we first looked.
Need a valve cover.
Yeah, we know this. That's scheduled next week with PSI. It's sludgy down here. And that segues perfectly if you guys don't want to do any of the work on your BMW and you need maintenance or performance done. Make sure to check out the guys at Precision Sport Industries. They specialize in BMW and Porsche. They're here in the Central Florida area. Unlike the suspension that we did on the F10 and 5 not too long ago, we don't have a true coilover system in the back, so it should be very easy to just replace the springs, get the control arm loose, pull it down, swap out the springs. Same goes for the rear here. Up front, it's a coilover system, so essentially we'll have to release the strut from the top and get it in there. Harbor Freight for the win, baby. Put me in, coach.
It's not substitutions yet.
We're gonna get fancy for that one. For sale, I know what I have. Here's a side-by-side look, both rear springs. We have the H&R ones right here. You guys can see they're slightly shorter, and these seem like they're slightly slimmer as well. I'm guessing this has a higher spring rate. I'm not entirely sure what it is. It doesn't show it on the spring itself, so I'll just kind of overlay that information on screen right here. Got some fat-ass hands.
You got fat hands too. Look.
No, my are ripped.
You got f***ing Squidward hands. Yeah. You should be doing f***ing weird-ass angles and shit.
And we're using the OEM everything, I guess. You reuse it. But what if it's like super clapped? You're gonna have to replace these. Or these are not super clapped. I think they are super clapped, but we're gonna use them anyways. Because we might be going air pretty soon. Jess. I'm here trying to get my hands dirty, but he doesn't allow me to. He wants to do everything. Ah, look, I get to help a little bit. Oh, yeah. Would I get if I titled this video, The Perfect Modification for You Broke F30 Boys? It'd get a lot of clicks, but I've also get a lot of hates in the comment section. But I might just do it to like troll with you guys. Oh, this side seems a little bit softer than the other side. Install complete. Y'all see me? I'm working on my own car. So for y'all that always want to comment that I'm not working on my own car, I'm gonna tighten this up, and that's it. I'm done. He says this is for aerodynamics. Is that right? Air goes this way. Instead of getting trapped up here, it goes back there. You can gain 50 horsepower. Yep. Nice. So without this, you actually lose power, guys. Make sure to keep these on. By the way, guys, quick plug. I know I haven't really advertised this much. The F30 sure is live on the website. I think I released it like a week ago. I have maybe like 20 or 25 left. I don't really have one to show you guys outside of the package, but you guys can tell I worked really hard on this design for you guys to be able to, you know, get one and really like it. F30 build, clapper build, help support. I'll leave a link down in the description below.
F30s have 5-bolt or 3-bolt. You have a 3-bolt, so
I have a 3-bolt. Yeah. You got a 5?
I don't remember.
Yeah. He has an F30 as well. You gotta go check out his channel. But he got a 340, so you know, he don't got the peasant car like I do. So yeah, good luck. I already know what you're trying to do. We're trying to take the lazy way out and slip out the spring and slip in the spring without removing the whole strut assembly.
Yes. Now you gotta watch out.
Yeah, that fender better survive.
Wide body.
If something goes wrong, I'm using it as clickbait. Guys, that is the true definition of clapped. Look at the dust boot. What is that? Yeah, this is pretty bad. I would definitely not add springs if your strut looks like this. One, it's already clapped, and two, look, you're not really protecting the shaft. Oh God. Oh God. Kids, do not try this at home. Don't do the shortcuts. All right, at least can you tell them what they should have done the right way?
Proper way is obviously remove the strut from the knuckle assembly, take out the strut, and then compress the spring. I like to live on the edge, so we're gonna do it the fast way.
Bro, we're reusing that. We are reusing that. Something is better than nothing. We need to protect the shaft. So in a following video, obviously he was putting a lot of pressure at the control arms. I am getting those replaced with M3 ones. Again, I might have mentioned it earlier. The guys at PSI are gonna do that, the control arms, and then we'll do a lot of maintenance like the oil pan gasket, valve cover, gasket, spark plugs, coils, and stuff like that. So stay tuned to that. Stay tuned for that video. Essentially, it kind of addresses a lot of things that you might wanna address when you have an F30 or any like high mileage BMW. You sure know how to grab that. Did it really get pushed in?
Yes.
That strut is clapped. Sounds like you need my muscle. Wow. And it just stays. It's like negative rebound. The strut should not stay in place when you push it down. We're trying to follow the rules here. Remember I told you that Spanish saying a long time ago when we started working together? El vago pasa todo el trabajo.
Okay.
The lazy person works twice as hard. The person that uses a shortcut has to work twice as hard. Alright, I'm gonna turn the camera off so I can help here. We'll be right back. We did it. Don't ask how, but we did it. Just do it the right way. And that was the cool thing about these springs. We don't have to deal with me having to adjust the height like 20 times to get it right. With springs, I don't really have any adjustment. If I don't like it, I'm stuck with that height. Clapped. Ta-da. Looks good. We don't have that dust shield, but that's okay.
You don't need that.
But that red looks good. I'm not going to show you guys the same thing on this side as the other side, so we're just going to skip to that part when it's installed. Ta-da. Ta-da. Again, if you have old or worn out struts, don't just slap aftermarket springs on it. It's just not a good thing. The car's not going to ride as good as it should. But since I'm planning to swap out to air suspension or possibly coilovers before that, I figured why spend money on like aftermarket struts or even OEM struts when I'm gonna replace the system anyways. I'm gonna remove some of this rust off the hub because the wheels get stuck and they're a pain to get off. Plus, once you're mounting them, they're also not easy to slide in. Normally you'd wanna use like a wire brush to clean this off, like a power gun. I don't have that here, so I'm just gonna use this block of sandpaper. Much better. It'd probably be a good idea to add some like anti-seize paste here too. Again, I don't have that here, so maybe I'll just add that at a later time. We weren't able to install the spacers because I realized we don't have bolts long enough for the spacers and they're 20 mil. So I'm gonna have to order some other spacers and probably a stud conversion set as well. So whatever you guys are gonna see right now is just the right height. It's probably gonna just keep the wheels exactly how they are as far as how deep they are within the car. Dude, that is absolutely slammed up front. I don't even think it needs spacers up front, to be honest. Yeah, but the front really doesn't need that much. If anything, a 5 mil, but I think that's fine. It's like sunken in all the way. Only thing I don't like about it. But as far as the ride height, we're gonna move the car back a little bit. Maybe it'll settle in. We'll see. But right now, it looks like the front is lower than the back. There's a like hella rake. I like that fitment though. It looks pretty even actually. Wow. Bro, that's low. Hey, broke mod or not, this looks good. Pretty spot on in the front and back. Back looks slightly more lower right here, but I think that looks pretty spot on. Holy moly! Going on a test ride real quick, make sure there's no like clonking sound or, you know, make sure it rides okay. Buttery. Let's see. So far, not bad. It actually rides like stock, kind of. Like you don't really lose comfort in a way. Even with the clapped shocks. Let's go ahead and do a sharp U-turn right here. Me like it a lot. I'm gonna go ahead and clean up the car tomorrow, and then I'll show you guys what the car looks like in the daytime. So here's what the F30 looks like, guys, after the suspension is fully settled. Man, that is a very good look, especially with those wheels. So I've been driving the car for a few days, and my biggest takeaway is the car rides extremely smooth, almost like it's still at stock height, even on clapped shocks. Still don't recommend you guys running lowering springs on clapped shocks, but I'm very happy with it. The front might look a little bit lower here because the car's on an incline, but I'm very happy with the results. Obviously, I'm not running spacers, so the wheel's a little bit sunken in, so I think I'll add a 10mm spacer, which should bring it out just a little bit and give it a more aggressive flush look. Here's what the front looks like. To be honest, it's pretty flush to the fender. It might be able to fit a 5mm spacer if you really want that aggressive look. I think it looks fine that way, and depending on the brand of tire that you go with, it might actually fit more flush. Again, if you guys are interested in these springs, I'll have a link down in the description below where you guys can buy it directly. It does help support the channel. Make sure you hit the like button if you enjoyed the video. It really does help out the channel. Subscribe if you haven't already, and as always, thanks for watching. Till next time.